Good, man. How are you? Hold on 1 second here. There we go.
Alright.
Yeah, how's school going?
So, it's midterm, so pretty busy, but after this, it should be smooth sailing.
Nice. Yeah, you guys are probably done in like, what, a month and a half?
Yeah, 7 weeks.
Yeah. What's going on for the summer?
I think I'm moving to Florida to, shadow that real estate guy. He doesn't really do what you do, but to an extent, it's kind of the same, I guess.
Pensacola or?
Yeah, Pensacola.
Nice. Well, that'll be good. That'll be a good experience for you. And just get to meet more people.
I did it over J-Term for a week, and it was pretty cool.
Cool,
so.
yeah. And you get to meet more people too. That's the key.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You have been blowing up on Instagram, dude.
I've been trying. It's hard though, cause like I do it all by myself, right? So I don't have a content person yet. So that's why like this last week it was just nuts around here, and so I was quiet. So you can tell, because I don't have those content people helping me. Like you can tell when it's like just insane. I mean, it's always insane, but when it's insane, and I'm quiet on social media, I'm swamped. So
yeah.
Hopefully get back
well,
on track.
one of my buddies that goes here, I had never said anything about you, and he was like, "Wait, do you know who Justin Spalding is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's like from my hometown or whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, I like saw you were following him, and like, so he found you just naturally."
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
funny.
That's starting to happen more and more too, which is crazy. I can't imagine like those people that have like millions of followers, because it has to be. I mean, because I'm like at 10,000 or something like that, and so like it has to be absurd when you, just because of that small network of people who are interested in what you do and everything. It's everyone kind of knows everyone, and I don't know. It's starting to happen more and more, so it's kind of cool. I like it.
Yeah. Once you get to a certain point, do you start to see more like natural growth, or like do you still have to keep pushing?
In Instagram?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a lot of natural growth. Like even like last week, I still added probably like 300 followers just from like content that I have out there, and people like it, and they'll be able to find it through their friends and what their friends like and everything. But when you're pushing, like I like when I was really pushing, like the weeks before that, I was adding like 1,100 a week.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
But I like the engagement portion of it is so much more key. Like I would rather have less followers and a lot more engagement on all my posts, where people really care about what you're posting, and more of a community versus, like I look at some people, I'm like I don't get it, because they'll have like 150,000 followers or 200,000 followers, but they'll only have like 20 comments on their posts, and I'm like, that's...
No, your comments seem very genuine too, and you like respond to them all.
Yeah, and some of mine will get like 100 or 70 to 100. Some have like 200, and I'm like trying to be more engaging than anything to keep people around and keep people interested in what I'm doing. That's more important to me than anything.
Yeah, that has to add up to a lot of work, dude. All those comments and stuff.
Like that's what everyone says, but it's just, we all have like downtime. Like if I'm riding in a car and I'm not driving, like there's 5 minutes right there, and it takes me, some of the comments that I had, like reply back with are short, or just a thanks or whatever. So it doesn't, I mean, that portion of it really doesn't take too long,
Yeah, and with that, are you trying to like start like a service out of that, kind of like Grant Cardone? Like, do you want to do books eventually, or?
Yeah, I'm starting to work on a book. I've started to sell my program through there too. So I've been doing some live webinars and stuff. I'm starting to sell some products and stuff like that. But it's kind of more low key. It's not. I don't want to just straight monetize my Instagram following. I'd rather just be able to continue to add a ton of free value. But then have products for people who. So like for example, like someone could go through. I have that real estate program, and someone could, which I should just give you access to that for everything your family's done for me and stuff too. But which I can do that. I can just hook you up with one. But I'll sell that for like $1,200 or whatever. It's a package, it's like packaged 8 hours of content, and a program basically how I've like built everything I've built in real estate, and our team, how we go about things. And I tell people all the time, like, look, you can find all this information for free that I've thrown out there somewhere. You just have to piece it all together versus like, but some people want it packaged like step by step kind of, because what I post on Instagram is what I'm going through every individual day, and it's all over the board because it's actually the process, right? So but send me a message on that too when we're done. I'll just hook you up with a free one. I get you hooked up with that.
Is that the thing in your Insta bio?
Yeah. I think the one in my bio right now is for the webinar, I think.
Yeah, that was a free one.
Yep. But then the program, like I said, I've been selling that. I don't know, probably done like 30,000 of sales, close to 30,000 of sales in it just recently.
Yeah,
So
that's sweet. And it's pretty new, right?
Yeah, I mean, I did the first round of people in November, and they each paid me like $1,000, and there was just 10 people, and I just wanted to run them through it to see how well they liked it, and they loved it. I had really good feedback. So I'm just like 4 weeks ago, started ramping it up. So like in the last 4 weeks, we've done like 16,000 or 18,000 of sales.
Oh,
Just
really?
Yeah, and it's been like $2,000 of advertising and some time, but I don't know, it's pretty cool, and I've been able to help a lot of people, and I'm getting a lot of good feedback from the new people as well. So
are you gonna sell it through Instagram, or how are you doing that?
I use ClickFunnels,
Okay.
and my buddy, I partnered with a dude that I went to college with, and he's really good at. He owns a social media company or a digital agency, and he's just really good with the Facebook targeting and retargeting and ads and Instagram ads and all that stuff. And so we've been doing it that way, and then get them on the ClickFunnels and so yeah.
All right.
And we split profit 50-50. I give up. I'm like, yeah, hey,
Oh, okay.
50, yeah, because he does all the back end stuff, and so I'd rather have 50% of a larger number than 100% of $1,000. You know.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I know what you mean. All right. So for this like interview, it's like basically I have to do like an assessment of your business, I guess. Will you have like, is the Spalding Group like your main thing? Like that manages all the buildings, right? But
Yeah.
do you have like separate ones, or is it just that one?
So I have like 20 entities, but the Spalding Group, that's the company where all the employees sit, and no assets sit there. Like no real estate is owned by Spalding Group. That's the property management company that employs all the people, that provides the service to all the properties. And then all the properties, like then I have a holding company that's separate from Spalding Group. I have a holding company, and that holding company owns anywhere from 10 to 80% of all these properties. And then all the properties sit in their own entity.
Okay.
Their own LLC, each property.
Okay, so the first like question is, what are your like reasons for owning a business, like being an entrepreneur?
Freedom.
Okay, so the first one, it says like independence, lifestyle, financial rewards, inheritance. I don't know what you did, like a lawsuit type of deal, didn't you, from that app?
Well, yeah, I mean, there was some issues that came out with a partner that he basically went against his word, and then he came after us. But so I started a business because, I mean, the independence that ultimately I can have through it, right? I'm not relying upon anyone else. I'm building something. I love building things. So like that whole process of building a company and the day by day of what it takes to get there. I love that whole journey more than I actually love the actual like result. So I just love the game of it, right? But then the independence of it, and then the freedom, right? So like money is just a tool, just like a hammer. You know, money, like, and that's why I openly talk about money, and people are like, oh, you're just so money focused and driven. Well, yeah, but it's not just about money. It's what the money can do for you, right? It's just another tool, and money can, like, if money just doesn't matter, then you can do whatever you want to do in life, and you can provide a lot of other people opportunities because of money, and help a lot of other people because of money. And so I just want money to never be a limiting factor in why I can or cannot do something.
Okay. And then the next thing kind of derives from that, but what were your personal goals of business ownership when you began, and then did they change now?
I would just say that the goals are the same thing. I mean, kind of what I just said right there. I mean, that's kind of my goal, you know. And then when people ask like what your targets are, or what you want to, you know, and I just tell people, I want to own 50,000 units one day. It's like, but it's like, to me, I'm like, it's just an arbitrary number that I'm throwing out there, and I want to be able to just keep going for something, right? I never want to be satisfied. I always want to keep growing, and that's in business, but that's also in life and like spiritually and in relationships, right? I always want to continue to improve. I never want to be stagnant, or you know, I just want to always get better and better. But the answer to that question is really, it's the same answer as the first one.
Okay, and then did you have any experience in like real estate before you started?
No, nope. So I didn't like, and that's what I tell people regularly too. Like when we're looking to hire them and whatnot. I mean, I'm like, hey, we do things a little bit different around here. And sometimes people that are in the industry ask, hey, why are you doing it this way? And they're not criticizing me. They're just asking because they haven't seen it done that way before. But for them, they kind of grew up in property management. Like they didn't go out and start their company right away. They started another management company or working for someone else, and they kind of, built it off of that. Whereas like I didn't work for anyone else, right? I just went out and started and kind of like was shooting from the hip, and then I would figure out what would work and what didn't work, and then we'd readjust, and then I'd figure out what would work and what didn't work, and we'd readjust and make progress, and then once again, and just keep doing that over and over again to kind of come up with my own little recipe, right?
Yeah. And then it also says, did your parents have a business? They did.
Yep.
I think your dad, what did he do again?
Yep. So my mom and dad own Badger Veterinary Hospital in Janesville and started that. They built their own place in 2000 and went out with two partners and started that place in 2000 and then bought another one in Beloit and then bought another one in Cambridge and just kind of had kept growing and then my dad started a company with a couple other friends that they now have 30 veterinary practices across the country.
Oh, okay. I remember you saying something about that before.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely like it's in part of it's like in my DNA and like who I am, and I have some of these traits just because of my parents, obviously. But then at the same time, like I've learned a lot as well because when I went to college to play college football. Like I didn't go to school really. I didn't go to school, and then I figured out like my sophomore year I wanted to do real estate, and that's when I just started teaching myself. So I started like skipping classes and like reading all these real estate books, and business books, and then I knew I was reading, like I tell you all the time, don't just learn to learn, learn to then figure out how you can implement it in your life, right? Don't just be a forever student. Like, be a forever student, but actually implement the things that you're learning.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would do through college.
All right. And then it does say, what do you think about the word career? That's kind of vague, but.
That's a question. That's it. What do I think about the word career?
That's it.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like I think
it means more corporate career. What do you think about that life?
Oh, like so if you twist it that way, like a corporate career. So like something that what I'm not doing. You mean like what?
Yeah.
So like being an actual employee and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think if that's what it means.
I mean, I think like, I respect it because there has to be people that play those roles, right? That want that career and want to be an employee, and that's fine. Not entrepreneurship and building a business isn't for everybody. And every single day. What's that? What's that?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, sorry. And then so every single day, like I'm trying to look for people who want a career because I want people who want to be with us and have a great career with us and be with us for a long, long time. So I'm all for it. It just depends on what each individual person is after. Like for me, like, being a business owner, I have to do more than just 9 to 5 sometimes, right? Like I have to put in 90 hours. I have to put in 100 hours. Not everyone wants that. I want it because I've like found my passion and, and what I really, really love to do, whether I'm getting paid a lot of money for it or not, because like 2012 to 2016, like I wasn't making good money then. Like I was kicking everything down the road, right? And a lot of people don't want to make that sacrifice, nor because they don't have a passion for it or whatever. And so a career is a great option, a quote unquote like corporate career is a great option for them then, right? And there's a lot of great people that do very well still. There's a lot of people that probably should go that route more often than not, just because like in a career, like if they have a career that can pay them $50 or $100 or $200,000 a year, well, they can still do investing on the side if they want, right? They just have to be diligent and save that money. They can still make great earnings.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of figuring out what they want and going for it.
Okay, the next questions are a little more specific. It goes, how was the business financed? I think that's kind of complicated.
Yeah, so Spalding Group, like the management company, just from cash flow. We generated revenue. Like I went out and basically I've been running the show at Spalding Group. Like, my family, they're partners in it, yeah, but they don't do anything with the day to day, and so it's just a matter of like going out and generating revenue, taking that and taking the profits from it and reinvesting into the into the company, right? Through, reinvesting into the people and office space and office equipment and tools and so just reinvesting, and then you make more money and you reinvest it. So that's how Spalding Group was started. The properties, I mean, the very first property for our holding company was $20,000 investment by me, and then my family put in the other $20,000. So we started with $40,000, and then we just basically took all the profits ever earned off the sales and off of lease, renting them out and everything, and just reinvested into properties, into more and more properties.
Okay, the next thing is, have financial goals changed over time? And do you have financial goals? I mean, obviously, but.
I mean, I'm competitive, right? And it's kind of like, that's what I love about business is it's like my new, like being a former athlete, it's my new game. So yeah, like, and money is a lot of times like how you're judged on how successful of a business, obviously, right? So, from that standpoint, and then I've just learned overall to like think bigger, right? And, when I first started, I could only look at like 16 unit buildings or smaller, and now I'm looking at buildings that are 250. So it's just being able to think bigger, and then just realizing that there's nothing different between $1 million deal and $100,000 deal except for 1 0 at the end. It's just a little bit bigger. Like there's no difference. It's just a little bit bigger, right? There's no difference between a $10 million deal and $1 million deal. It's just one extra zero. And so and then going back to what I was saying before is like I would rather have $50 million. I'd rather be worth $50 million than be worth $5 billion, and at $50 million have other people that are around me that I've been able to help be successful as well, versus me being all alone at $5 billion, right? Yeah. So I want to be able to bring other people with me. Now that being said, I still want to, would want to get to that $5 billion number or whatever, right? But it's not. I'm not. Whether I'm successful or not, it's not solely dependent upon money, and there's more to it than that, and it's making other people successful as well, which I love a lot.
Okay, and this is kind of jumping around a little bit, but I know I'm going to need it later. Do you have like a target market, or does it depend on the area?
For our properties?
Yeah, for the properties.
I mean, we look for like, what I typically look for is like blue collar jobs that are in the area. The properties have to be able to pay rents, that the rents are about 33% or 25% of the incomes of the people in the area.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the targets that we're looking for. I'm always looking for, when it comes to just properties, because that's kind of my target. I have properties that are targets as well, right? When it comes to properties, I'm looking for value add type stuff. I'm looking for, good areas. They don't have to be great areas, and but I mean, looking for solid, good areas with properties that have been neglected that we can add value to.
Yeah.
And we buy them cash flowing, and then improve them and go from there. So I look for in tenants, and then properties, and then being more specific on like what I look for in tenants is, we look for like no previous evictions, no previous felonies, income. They have income that's at least 3 times the rent every single month. So that's kind of what we're looking for there.
Okay, and then the last thing is, I just need 3 pieces of advice. Like entrepreneur advice. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be towards real estate. Just 3 pieces of advice.
I would say the first piece of advice would be to always be a person of your word. Hold your word. Like I'd be willing to hold up my end of the bargain of doing a handshake deal, because when I say my word is bond, right? So I'd say that, which that's also like ethics and integrity, right? And then I would say number 2, I would say, don't view people as an expense, like view them as the asset. You need good people around you. Like the more good people you have, like that's the ultimate resource, right? So someone that you pay $200,000 a year, like they should bring, $500,000 of revenue to your company, or $300,000 of revenue to your company. They should make your company way more valuable. Right, so people are an asset. And then I would say number 3 is don't strip your companies of all the money and go have fun. Like, yeah, you have to have some fun, but make sure you, especially when you're starting out, like, and when your business is young, like put as many dollars of profit back into the business and reinvest. Put as many dollars back in as possible. That'd be my 3.
Yeah. I definitely know you practiced that one.
For sure, yeah.
All right, well, that's it. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No, you bet, man. When you're if you're back again, I know we keep saying this, but when you're back, we gotta link up. So.
Yeah, for sure. I'll let you know. I should be back soon. I mean, this semester's gonna go by quick, and the weekends are getting pretty long, so I'll probably be home, so I can shoot you a text.
Okay, cool. Yeah, would love to, man.
Yeah,
So.
keep the content coming. I enjoy it.
All right, I will, dude. I appreciate that. We'll talk to you soon, Coop. See you, buddy.